All right, testing. Testing 1, 2. Perfect. Hello, everyone. Welcome to PGR League Racing. I am your host, R19. Tonight, for the 19th race of our 9th season of PGR, we're here in Saudi Arabia at Jeddah Circuit. It's also going to be a sprint race tonight. We're going to have one-shot qualifying, which I don't have it set to right now. So it's set to short qualifying, which should be one-shot qualifying, followed by a sprint and then the full race here at Jeddah. But before we get into all that, we're going to have a quick pre-race interview with one of our drivers, that being Slingshot in the Mercedes. Let's get him in here. Hey, I'm just making sure you're coming through on stream. I got you there. Making sure you're coming through on stream. There. Include your audio in the party, Slingshot. Still not coming through.
How about now?
Let me see. Okay, I got you now. Now I got it.
Right.
Yeah, already.
All right, cool.
Perfect, man. So we're coming to season 9 of PGR is coming to a close. How have you felt about your season overall, man?
Well, just actually been in some unfortunate incidents and everything like that. So I started off pretty good, but lately not so much. But still, I'm gonna come out here and do the best that I possibly can, try to stay out of trouble, and see if I can finish up high.
Nice, man. And obviously we're here racing Jeddah. Is this a track that you're a fan of?
I like it. It flows. It's nice and fast. I like it. But anything can happen. One slip, and you're in the wall.
Right? One mistake and it's all
Yes.
over. That's
It's
true.
all over.
And you've been racing this whole season. You've been back and forth with your teammate Slim. Still hoping to finish ahead of him before these final 3
Well,
races are over.
he's got a big lead on me right now. So, he's pretty consistent. If he don't slip on the banana peel, he's gonna, keep building up. So my thing is I have to actually some kind of way finish some of the spots that he's actually been able to finish in.
Mm-hmm. That's right, yeah. You gotta shoot for a good finish, that's true. Um, overall, we're also coming to near the end of F122 because we're going to be moving to F123 for next season. So I was also going to ask you, how have you felt about this game in general, doing 2 seasons on this game? Like, how has the game felt compared to previous F1 games you've raced on?
Well, for me, 22 actually stepped up a little bit better than 2021. So for me, it was actually a little bit easier to actually get on the acceleration and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
This one, um, like I said, this one's better than 21 when it came to that.
Yep.
And I've done 23, and 23 is even more responsive. So because of that, um, I think I should be, around the same or even faster. So
Yeah.
22 wasn't that bad for me. It's just some things that I didn't like, but other overall wasn't that bad. But 23 is better.
Overall, looking forward to the next season, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yes.
agree. I agree. Season 10 on F123 is going to be awesome. And
Yes, sir.
and you've been racing in the Merc. How have you found the Merc in this game? Was this were you happy to have been racing in this car? Like
Yeah.
you were.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't a hard car to drive to me. It wasn't a hard car to drive. And then actually, while being on same setups, that that even evens things out a little bit. Like I said, there's a couple places that I could have actually been better on track, but I'm still, as we're going, I'm still figuring um, the manual gear changing out. Because again, I came from before I started with you guys, not not actually doing that. I actually was doing automatic. So now I'm actually just getting to the point where I'm getting into the gear changes. Now it's some of the other little things that I need to do now. So hopefully in the next game I'll be even better.
Awesome, man. Well, I'm gonna let you go there now because we're late starting. Don't want to
Yeah,
hold the guys up too
yeah,
long.
yeah,
Especially
yeah.
since we got the sprint race tonight. So that's another opportunity to get points to
Yes, sir.
maybe bring it back a bit even with Slim for the
Yes,
last two
sir.
races of the season. We'll see how it goes, but
I'm I'm gonna try, man. Thank
yeah,
you for your vote of confidence. I appreciate it.
yeah. Well, good luck, man. Hopefully, we'll see you up in the top five.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Cheers.
All right.
And that was Slingshot, one of our Mercedes drivers, here with his teammate Slim, who's also the admin for PGR. Has been here since the very beginning. Both of them racing on Mercedes together. Heated rivals. Been fighting neck and neck the whole season. And Slim has now gained the lead after his amazing podium finish last season at last weekend at Australia. In mixed conditions, very tough race, and he came out on the podium, so good stuff to Slim. Got to mention that. But tonight, looks like we have Vodka Victory, who is our champion for this season, racing in the Alpha Tauri. We have Great Ace in the Alpine, Abrupt in the Ferrari. Looks like his teammate Badminton is not here tonight to help him in the constructors. Abrupt definitely been let down by his teammates this season, that's for sure. Uh, like I said, Slingshot and Slim. We have Greybush in the McLaren, Redline in the Haas, CeeLo in the Williams. As you can see there, Trey, who is actually Drupally in the Red Bull. And last but certainly not least, we have a returning champion from PGR Season 7, Pete the Newfie, who has finally returned and is racing tonight for the first time on a wheel in almost an entire year. Going to be driving the Aston Martin tonight. And this is his first time back, and he has announced that he will be rejoining PGR for Season 10 on F123. So we're all very excited to have Pete back. Shoutouts to Pete. Happy to have you, man. And let's have a good race tonight. Starting off at one-shot quality on Saudi, on Jeddah, to set the grid for the sprint. Again, anything can happen. Let's see who's able to not invalidate, not mess up here. You get one shot, that's it. And then it's right into the sprint. And also in the season of PGR, we've been racing with fixed setups, so everyone's been racing on balanced setups the whole season. So, but the default, actually, I think the default for this track is increased top speed, but we've been racing on balance. So you're gonna see guys should have a bit easier time in the first sector, but their later sectors aren't gonna be as fast as they normally would be. Here we go. Let's see, on turn one, Vodka Victory coming in with the Alpha Tower here. Oh, nudges the wall there. Vodka Victory hitting the wall, coming into turn one. Slingshot is actually up there with Vodka on turn one. Now we're going to really see stuff shift around. Both Mercedes shifting around. Oh, we actually see Abrupt now in the Ferrari. Pulling a little faster than Vodka, and so is Pete the Newfie in the Aston. Slingshot still fastest right now in the Mercedes. Crazy enough, at the end of Sector 1. Slingshot and Abrupt going into Sector 2. Going around this wide sweeping turn. Vodka Victory gaining some time on everyone there. Managing to pull it back a little bit. Pete the Newfie also getting up in the mix as well. Vodka Victory coming through Sector 2. Now, Slingshot has still been at the top this entire time. Purple Sector 2 for Slingshot comes through. Going into the final sector here now. Slingshot 19 is flying. He's having the quality lap of his life right now. Let's see, he has the final turn to contend with here for Slingshot. Vodka Victory going a little bit faster than him, though. Coming out of this final corner. But out of nowhere, Abrupt with the fastest lap. Look at that. Look how close it was between Abrupt, Vodka, and Slingshot. All three of them. Abrupt in the Ferrari actually takes the fastest lap of the one-shot qualifying. So Abrupt will start on pole for the sprint race with Vodka Victor in the front row, followed by Slingshot in the Mercedes. Amazing qualifying lap for Slingshot. Good stuff to him. Right up there with Vodka and Abrupt. Followed by Pete the Newfie is going to start alongside him in the Aston Martin. Going into turn 1 here. And then we have Drupally and Redline, starting 5th and 6th for the sprint. Slim and CeeLo, 7th and 8th. Looks like CeeLo's really struggling here tonight. And then neither Great Ace or Greybush were able to get a time in, so they're going to start at the back. But anything can happen. This is only the grid for the sprint. However, like we were just talking to Slingshot in the interview, this is going to be a great opportunity for him to gain some points and try to close that gap a little bit with his teammate Slim. So yeah, biggest surprise there, definitely Slingshot. Great lap from him, but of course also Abrupt, sniping both Slingshot and Vodka there at the very end. Great to see. Abrupt has been fighting Vodka this whole season. He lost the Drivers' Championship to him, but still hoping for... Still trying to get a win before the end of the season. Hasn't had a win in PGR in a very long time. But Abrupt really likes this track. He really likes Jeddah. So this could be a good chance for him to get a win. But again, so does Vodka. As you remember from the previous season, Season 8, Vodka fighting neck and neck with Smoke and Benzo Slice here. Freeway battle for the win here. Last season in PGR. Awesome race. Definitely worth checking out. On our YouTube channel, PGR TV. You can go give that a subscribe. And you can see all our archived races from last season and this season, seasons 8 and 9. Have them all archived there. Also planning on doing up a playlist of the greatest hits kind of playlist with all the best races curated in a playlist, so you can watch the best of the best that we've had so far in PGR in the past 2 seasons. But here we go, we're going to get into the sprint race here now. It looks like it's a 9-lap sprint. So let's see here, is everyone going to be on the yellows? Or is everyone going to try to push the softs 9 laps? That's the question. Because technically you can, but the safer option would be to just go on the yellows. And yeah, it looks like mostly everyone's going to be going on the yellows, since that is the safer option. Yep, everyone is on the yellows. Oh, the Red Bull of Drupally already struggling a little bit there, even on the formation lap. Like I said, Pete the Newfie, this is his first race back. So he's still getting his bearings. But already having pretty decent pace. Starting in 4th. However, you know, obviously it's not all about pace. It's also about consistency. And you make one mistake here, you're out of the race. So his consistency is going to be king here, it's for sure. regardless, this could be a great showing for both Mercedes drivers if they can keep it together out on track. Could be a great showing for them if they can stay consistent. Someone else is going to be feeling the heat. The sprint race is Greybush at the very back. This is going to be his opportunity. Same thing with Great Ace. A good opportunity to gain some positions back over the course of the sprint, so that hopefully they can start in a bit better position for the full race. Obviously, you can't count CeeLo Racing out either. He has a bad race, and he still finished on the podium, so CeeLo definitely got some amazing pace on the PlayStation. But again, if he makes one mistake here, you know, you can make mistakes and spin out on some tracks and you'll be fine, but if you make a mistake here, you're probably done. And it's lights out and away we go here at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Trying to get an angle here. EA's camera angle suck. Here we go. We can see the Alpine Great Ace already making moves at the back. Abrupt goes first into turn one. Oh, looks like the Red Bull. Oh, the Mercedes of Slim. Or Slingshot, sorry, going a little wide there. It's already dropped down to 6. Terrible start for Slingshot, I'm afraid. CeeLo Racing in the Williams, though, already moves up into 5th. Same thing, Great Ace and Alpine already moved up to 6th. I was correct about the Red Bull of Drupally going completely wide there. Drupally and the Red Bull all the way at the back now. Greybush moves up a position. If you look at the front here, Vodka Victory also starting to put the pressure on Abrupt here now. Still staying with him. Pete the Newfie has now moved up into 3rd due to what happened to Slingshot. Unfortunately, terrible start for Slingshot. Dropped all the way down from 3rd to 7th now. Right there. Even Great Ace has got past him already. Great Ace already up into 6th. Slingshot right there with his teammate now. Terrible start for him. Vodka already pressuring Abrupt. Oh my goodness. Going into the final sector here. Vodka is going to get by him in the straight here. It looks like pretty easily. Much better exit out of the corner. Let's see, going in this final turn here. Also, CeeLo Racing moves up a position on Redline into 4th. Here we go, into the final turn. Vodka Victory is going to take the lead from Abrupt, with the Aston Martin of Pete the Newfie not too far behind. There we go. Looks like we've got some more positions going on here, though. Slingshot gains the position over Great Ace, coming up into turn 1. Moves back up into 6th. Greybush also lost the position back down to 10th. Drupally has gained some. Guys going way wide there. Let's see. Drupally is going to be looking to get past Slim next. Possible to watch everything, but we'll see. Oh, it looks like McLaren Greybush going a little wide there. In the background, you can see. Looks like CeeLo Racing is also pressuring Pete the Newfie right now, trying to get by him. Obviously, CeeLo has never raced with Pete before. So let's hop up here and see. CeeLo Racing ran the back of Pete the Newfie right now. Pete the Newfie has started to fall off from Vodka and Abrupt a bit. Abrupt is staying in Vodka's DRS range though, so he can still fight Vodka for the lead. Here we go. Looks like CeeLo. Vodka still posting fastest lap. CeeLo staying right on Pete going into turn 1 here. Looks like CeeLo's going for a move on Pete into turn 1, but he backs off. He backs out of it. He decides to wait again. Meanwhile, Abrupt is now only half a second behind Vodka. Oh, he just lost some time to Vodka there, though. Oh, and here we go. It looks like Slim is very close to Great Ace right now, going into the DRS zone. Great Ace sandwiched between the two Mercedes right now. All 5 guys at the back here, not all pretty close to each other at the moment. Here we go. Slim's looking for the move on Great Ace. Not quite able to make a stick there. Might try to fly by him in the straightaway. Pete the Newfie and Aston Martin actually setting the fastest lap of the sprint right now with a 133.7. But we'll see here. Slim, oh, gets really close to the back of Great Ace there. Not really sure what that was about. Almost hit right into the back of Great Ace there. He was able to brake in time. Something a little weird there going on. Very unusual. Meanwhile, Pete the Newfie has actually been flying here. Like I said, the fastest lap. He's actually caught right back up to Abrupt and Vodka now. So, we're going to see here. There, especially to Abrupt. Looks like Pete is trying to put the pressure on Abrupt. So you can see it. Meanwhile, Great Ace also not too far behind. Slingshot in the Mercedes. Also putting the pressure on him. And meanwhile, Redline F1 in the Haas is kind of just sandwiched in the middle, away from everyone right now. Clearly in clear 5th at the moment. Oh, and yellow flag in sector free. Yellow flag in sector free. Slim Fug has spun. He's okay, though. He has not DNF'd the race. Here we go. Great Ace pulls ahead of Slingshot up into 6th. But yeah, not really sure what happened to Slim there. It looked like, I'm not sure if something happened between him and Droopily. Droopily was the next person behind him. So I'm not really sure what happened there. But there we go. Into turn 1, Pete the Newfie pulls ahead of Abrupt. Oh, Pete the Newfie starts losing his rear there, though. But he's able to keep it. But he has CeeLo and Abrupt right behind him. All 3 of these guys super close to each other now, which is causing them to lose time to Vodka at the front. Lots going on here. Hard to commentate on all of it, but yeah, so Slim is now at the very back. Graybush given a 3-second time penalty. Not sure if Slim spun himself or if there was contact with him in the Red Bull. Not too sure. But to me, it looked like he just spun. That's something to be viewed at after the race. Pete the Newfie now into 2nd. But none of these guys are close to Vodka yet, anyway. CeeLo Racing, though, is now putting the pressure on Abrupt. Right behind him, going into this DRS zone. Looks like CeeLo Racing is going to try to make a move on Abrupt here. Potentially coming into this next straightaway here. He has DRS on Abrupt. Coming up alongside Abrupt, going into this turn. Both of them going side by side. up to the start-finish line. And it looks like CeeLo Racing has managed to pull ahead of Abrupt on the straightaway there. Good stuff to the Williams driver. Redline F1 picks up a 3-second time penalty. And it looks like Drupally in the Red Bull manages to scoot on by Slingshot, move himself up into 7th. Ahead of the Mercedes driver. You also have Great Ace in the Alpine, also not too far behind Redline at this point. And Redline has a time penalty. So at this point, Great Ace will finish ahead of Redline. Even if he only keeps his distance behind him. But also we cannot forget Pete the Newfie also just picked up a 3-second time penalty himself now for track limits, unfortunately. So that is gonna, if CeeLo and Abrupt don't pick up any time penalties, that is gonna cost Pete the Newfie greatly, because that's gonna mean that Pete is gonna drop down into 4th. Lose those 2 positions to CeeLo and Abrupt now, unless he can start to form a gap to the 2 of them. He has to form a 3-second gap to both of them if he wants to keep that 2nd place position. But Abrupt is doing a good job keeping up with CeeLo. Wants to try to catch him again and get by him. Now only half a second within CeeLo's range. He's going to get DRS on him here on the straightaway. But unfortunately, still a bit too far out to do any moves on turn 1. I'm afraid. So we do have Great Ace now. Like I said, also has now caught up to the back of Redline. Keep in mind, Redline still has that time penalty. So he's still good. But there's still a couple laps to go. So it looks like Great Ace might try to get by Redline and potentially increase that gap substantially. But at this point, I don't think Great Ace is going to be able to catch anyone else besides Redline. But we'll see. Unfortunately, Slim has been forced to pit and retire from the sprint race, so it's official. Slim in the Mercedes is going to start at the very back for the start of the full race. Unfortunate to see, but obviously, when someone has an amazing race like he did last week, usually the next race things don't go so great, But obviously, still a full race to go. It's just a sprint race. But unfortunately, Slim is not going to get any points from the sprint. He's just going to have to move on to the full race. Pete the Newfie now has caught up to the back of Vodka Victory. He has DRS on him. Abrupt still with DRS on CeeLo as well. But again, Pete does have that penalty, though. That 3-second time penalty. Oh, and there we go, in the straightaway. Abrupt Pew Pew making the move on CeeLo. And he sticks it. Abrupt moves up into 3rd. Oh, but CeeLo's pressuring him. With 2 laps to go of the sprint race. CeeLo putting the pressure on Abrupt. Abrupt going a little wide there. Trying to see what's going on. Watching from CeeLo Racing's perspective now. Both drivers going through Sector 1. CeeLo keeping right up with Abrupt. Fortunately, CeeLo is basically out of ERS, though. So he can't really make a move there. Not yet. He's going to wait for DRS. Here we go. He's going to have DRS on Abrupt now. Coming up into here. Yellow flag in Sector 2. Looks like Graybush in the McLaren. Making a mistake there. Here we go. He's going to have DRS on Abrupt. Is he going to make a move here into the final turn of the second last lap? He's going for it. Both of them going side by side. Got 1 lap left to go in the sprint race. He is going to have DRS on Abrupt. CeeLo is going to try to take the position back from Abrupt here on the final lap here, first corner. Unfortunately, not able to go for anything there. Managed to keep it clean, though. Meanwhile, at the back here, you see Drupali now going side by side with Slingshot. Into turn 1. Oh, and Drupali goes way wide there, but he makes the move stick. It looks like. Slingshot makes the, Drupali makes the move stick. Drupali in the Red Bull moves up into 7th. Past Slingshot, good stuff. To the two of them. Meanwhile, Great Ace in the Alpine putting the pressure on Redline in the Haas. But I don't think Great Ace is paying attention to penalties right now. If he did, he'd see. Right now, Great Ace doesn't even need to get past Redline. You know? Redline has a time penalty. Right now, there's no need for Great Ace to get past Redline at all right now. He has a time penalty. He's going to finish ahead of him anyway from the sprint, but Great Ace is going for a move here regardless. And Great Ace shunts Redline. Oh my goodness, that's going to be talked about after the race. Great Ace shunts Redline there. Redline retires, just gets insta-DNF'd on the final lap of the sprint. What was the point of that, Great Ace? Pay attention to your penalties, my guy. There we go. Vodka Victory wins the sprint race. Pete Danufi is going to start on the front row. I'm in second, followed by Abrupt and Cielo in the second row. And it looks like, yeah, Great Ace finishing 5th. Drupali in the Red Bull in 6th. Slingshot in 7th. And Greybush in 8th. As Slim and Redline both retired. Wow. Definitely going to be talked about after the race there for Great Ace. Not sure what that was all about. If Great Ace took a second, maybe he couldn't see it because of how shitty his camera setup is for his race, but if he took a second to look at the left side of his screen, he'd see that Redline had a 3-second time penalty, right? Because if Redline didn't have the time penalty, it would have been a completely different story, you know what I mean? Because if Redline didn't have the time penalty, then it's just tight racing, right? It's just tight wheel-to-wheel racing, you're trying to get by him, blah, 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 blah. But Redline had a 3-second time penalty. Great Ace did not need to get by Redline. He wasn't going to have time to catch anyone else. There was no need for him to get by Redline. He was already going to finish higher than Redline because of the time penalty anyway. So all he did was just make it so Redline didn't get any points from the sprint race. So I don't know, I only say that was a bit sketchy because there was no need for Great Ace to go for a move there on the Haas driver, you know? There was no need for him to go for a move on Redline there. He should have just stayed behind him and, you know, it was the final race of the sprint. Just stay behind him and boom, you start ahead of him for the full race, you know? But, the big but, though. The big B-U-T, as we are, for anyone who's been watching PGR, though, you'll remember that we did a race a couple weeks ago at Monza where Great Ace got shunted by Redline. So, this might have been a tit-for-tat moment. This might have been Great Ace getting revenge on Redline for what Redline did to him at Monza. And at Monza, that was not in the sprint, that was in the full race. So a lot more points were at stake too. So you know what? You could argue that it's tit for tat, that they're even now, because, like I said, Redline shunted Great Ace at Monza, and Great Ace just shunted Redline at Jeddah. So, and at least Redline technically does still have this full race to try to get some points here. Still not completely over, but. Regardless, guys, this is when the drivers like to take a quick little intermission before the full race begins. So I'll see you guys in a couple minutes for the full race.